only upload stuff because you want to upload it for you, not for anyone else and not for any other reason. But I'm not your supervisor, so you can do what you want, obviously. Easy target. This is part 2 of how to become more self-confident. If you haven't seen part 1, then go and watch it. Don't need to watch it, but it's got some really good stuff in it, so please do. So, straight into it. Number 6 on our list of things we can do to become more self-confident is to remind yourself that social media is probably not your friend. Now, as I mentioned in part 1, self-confidence is called self-confidence because it has to come from ourselves. You know, the more that we try and find self-confidence from others, the more difficult we're going to be making it for ourselves. And social media is very much kind of orbiting around the idea of getting, validation and approval from other people. So we've got to look at how we are using social media and how it affects us to see whether it's actually a good or bad thing for our self-confidence. You've probably been told about like 143 times just today that social media, what you see on social media is what the account holder wants you to see. They frame things in, whatever way they want to. This doesn't happen so much for me, but if you're in a situation where you're going through social media and you see a post and go, oh, that's made me feel awful. I don't look like that. I don't eat like that. I don't blah, blah, blah. Just ask yourself, has that made me feel good? Has that made me feel inspired? Or has that made me feel deflated? Has that improved my day or has it made it worse? And if you don't like what you're seeing, hide it. Literally, you can hide posts. You can unfollow people. You can say, I never want to see that account again. You can block accounts. And you owe no one anything when it comes to it. It's a social media account. Ultimately, it doesn't mean anything at all, right? It doesn't matter if you unfollow someone. It doesn't matter if you mute someone. You need to be consuming the content that's actually going to make you feel better. Because if you keep consuming content which is making you feel worse, you're not doing anything for your self-confidence whatsoever. You want to be seeing stuff which inspires you, not stuff that leaves you feeling deflated. But what about the stuff that you upload, the content you're putting up there? Well, obviously, you can upload anything that you like to Instagram, within reason. Easy target. Why did I even say that? Just check in with yourself and ask, why am I uploading this photo? You should only upload stuff because you want to upload it for you. If you're ever putting it out there because you want certain people to like it, or you want some comments, or you're looking for followers, or you're looking for some sort of validation, or you're wanting someone to notice a certain thing about you or whatever, then stop. You are never, ever, 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 ever in control of other people's thoughts or their opinions. But basically, the more you put your self-confidence and belief in yourself, or whatever that might be, into the hands of other people, the worse position you're putting yourself in terms of your self-confidence. Here's a picture where I think I look really nice. Please just tell me that I do. And you put that into the hands of other people, metaphorically, and they just go, oh, no, sorry, I'm busy, I've not been on Instagram, or actually don't think you look very good, or I'm a dick and I'm just going to say something horrible, or whatever it might be. You're never in control of other people's thoughts and opinions, or what they're going to say, or whatever. So the more you put yourself out there into other people's hands and lay yourself bare for their opinions, the worse position you're going to be putting yourself in. I mean, if you've got the self-confidence and gumption about you to just handle that, go for it. But if you're not feeling very confident anyway, you are putting yourself into a potentially precarious situation. So my advice, only upload stuff because you want to upload it for you, not for anyone else and not for any other reason. But I'm not your supervisor, so you can do what you want, obviously. Number 7, make your own decisions. Now, within life, I would say that most decisions fall into 2 categories. They're either big decisions or they're small decisions. Big decisions might be something like, oh, should I have another child, or shall I change job? Those are big decisions. What type of takeaway you get, or what you watch on Netflix, or the exact words that you want to say within a conversation are small decisions. Oh, that wasn't the best takeaway we've ever had, let's not get that one again. So what? So you watch a film on Netflix, it's shit. So what? Like, it literally doesn't have any impact on your life whatsoever. Next time there's a decision in your life, just say to yourself, does this actually have any consequences in my life whatsoever? If it does, like it genuinely does, like it's like life altering, like a big, big thing, like whether you're going to move house or something like that, then yeah, take some time, gather some evidence to kind of support both sides of the argument, just to see where you're at, and make that decision in good time. For the small decisions, just make them. Make a decision and own that decision. The bigger decisions, like I said, take some time. The smaller decisions, just start making them. Just do it. Just do it. Do it now. Like, you might decide to stop watching this video right now, and if you do, that's fine. Please don't. Decide to click like instead. Stop winking. I'm going to stop winking at the camera. Number 8, brain dumping. Nothing as horrendous as it might sound. It's really nice just to take a moment and go, right, what actually is going on in my head? My favourite way is just to start writing stuff down. Normally I type it on my laptop or type it into my phone in my notes section, but just splurge whatever's going on in your head down onto the screen. It's just a nice kind of like cathartic exercise that kind of gets your thoughts out of your head. And also it gives you a chance to kind of see your thoughts and actually make sense of them and go, oh my God, I'm actually thinking that. That's not true. What? That's ridiculous. Like, it can be such a really helpful thing just to de-stress yourself and give you a chance to look at what's actually going on in your head. Here's a slightly annoying one. Number 9, improve your posture. Picture what someone very confident looks like when they walk into a room. How would a confident person walk down the street? Well, they would stand up tall, they would put their shoulders back, chest out, and they would have their head up, and they would be eyeballing exactly where they were walking to. And they would walk with purpose, they would walk with probably some pace, and just go for it. So what I'd like you to do is to, just next time you're walking somewhere, just like a confident person. Like, I ask you now, what is the worst thing that can happen? The only thing stopping you is you worrying about what other people are going to think. Well, they don't know how you normally walk. Also, it doesn't matter what they think. So what if you're walking in a confident way? The only reason not to do it is because you're worried about what someone is going to think about you for about half a minute before they think about something else. The benefits of doing it are that by acting confident, you become confident. Within the first 10, 20 seconds, it's going to feel awkward and a bit weird, and then the next 10 seconds you're going to start going, oh, okay, I'm getting into this a bit. And then from then on, it's just how you're going to be walking. You're going to walk that way. And it's, believe it or not, it may actually feel really good. Try it. Let me know in the comments how you get on with it. Here's the big one. If you stuck around to this point, then you are going to be rewarded. This is point number 10, and this is letting go of other people's opinions. Now, if I had the ability, if I had like a superpower, if I could have any superpower, it would be the ability just to touch people and just go, hey, you don't give a shit what anyone thinks about you now. Go and enjoy your life. Because the ability to not care what other people think about you is a superpower. It makes you more or less bulletproof. I'm going to tell you exactly how you can start doing that now. It changes everything. I want you to look at the things that you avoid doing because of self-confidence. I can't do that because I'd do that if it wasn't for... And I guarantee that a huge amount of those things that you say that you can't do for whatever reason are due to you thinking that other people are going to think bad of you. I can't go out in a skirt, people will laugh at me. I can't join a dating app because no one will match with me. If I mess up my presentation at work, people will think I'm stupid. Right now, I'd like you to think about the times in your life where self-confidence has stopped you doing something, and ask yourself if it would be completely eliminated if you no longer cared what other people thought of you. Now, I know a lot of people that have just more or less decided they're just not going to care anymore. They go, you know what, I'm just not going to give a shit what people think of me anymore. And it's worked for them. Now, I appreciate that's not going to work for everyone, but it is a good tactic if you can make it work. So, for starters, you can just try that. There are so many advantages to letting go of other people's opinions, but you probably don't need any more encouragement to do that at all. So let me just talk about control for a minute. With everything that happens within our life, it falls into one of 3 categories. It's either something we can control, it's something that we can't control, or it's something that we have some control over. And the some control over then splits down into things that we have control of or not control of. So ultimately, things are things we can control, or they are things we can't control. The things we can control are very simple. There's two things: our thoughts, our actions. Everything else in the known universe is outside of our control. Literally. If you don't believe me, allow me to give you my favourite example. If you've ever been a passenger or a driver in a car on a single carriageway road, stuck behind a car or a tractor or a lorry going too slow when you can't overtake, that is essentially a great metaphor for life. You are completely bound by whatever the car or lorry or tractor is doing in front of you. You can control where the car is in the road, you can go faster, you can go slower, but you can never go faster than the car in front. Now, you can shout at them, you can swear at them, you can beat your horn, you could try and sideswipe them off the road maybe, if you want to go to prison. But essentially, you can't do anything about it. You are in control of your thoughts and your actions. You are not in control of anything that the driver in front of you does. You can try and influence them, yes, but by trying to make them speed up, they may decide they just want to slow down and piss you off even more because you're being a dickhead. So realistically, you have no control over the speed of the vehicle in front of you. Do you agree? Good. So what do? Your only choice in this situation is how stressed out and worked up you get about the fact that you're being slowed down by this car. The situation remains the same. You only ever control your thoughts and your actions. But what if it wasn't a car that was going too slow? What if it was the opinion of someone that you fancied? What if it was the validation of a work colleague? What if it was the approval of a sports coach? How is that actually any different in terms of control? Once again, with all of this, you can try and influence the situation, but that doesn't necessarily mean that things are going to turn out the right way for you. I'm really hoping this makes sense. So, given that you've got literally no control over that situation, why do you care so much about it? You can literally do nothing about it at all. And why does it mean so much to you? What if you took all of that energy that you're putting into other people's opinions and actually use that to validate yourself? Letting go of other people's opinions essentially makes you bulletproof. Now, I'm nearly there with the odd hiccup here and there, but how? Well, because the amount I care about other people's opinions is about the same as how much I care about the petrol price in South Africa. I have literally no control over it, so why bother? And I spend my time trying to validate myself rather than trying to seek it from other people. Got it? I'm sounding really preachy, aren't I? Next time someone's opinions upset you, just ask yourself, can I do anything about their opinion whatsoever? Spoiler alert, the answer is always no, and then just let it go. Whose opinions do you care about? Typically, it's our friends, our close friends and our family. Those people's opinions are the ones that matter to us. So sometimes you might encounter an internet troll or someone new, an acquaintance or an old school friend or something, who says something or does something or whatever, and their opinion upsets you, it bothers you, it makes you feel crap or whatever. So ask yourself, if someone's gone out of their way to say something horrible or do something horrible which directly affects me, do I respect that person? Do I have any respect for the person who just did that? The answer, hopefully, is absolutely not. So if you don't respect that person, why would you let their opinion bother you? Think about it. Should I let the opinion of someone I don't respect affect me? Spoiler alert, the answer is no. Self-confidence has to start and end with it coming from you. And there's a bit in the middle where it also comes from you as well. So it has to come from you. Start letting go of other people's opinions. Start trusting yourself to validate yourself and become the most wonderful version of yourself that you can be.